Hi everybody, Maria here. Just wanted to share a little card with you today, a little inky card. So this is what we're going to have a go at using some stencils and some stamps. So this is the new rejigged feminine corset stamp set from Clarity. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to have a little go at. So let's make a start. Okay, so first of all we need a little bit of texture in the background. So any stencil really that's got texture will do. So this one here, I think it's mountain ash, I think this one is called, and so you can see what it's like without all the detail. There you go, so you can see there, apart from the middle, which is quite light, which is what we want, but it could be, this one's a quite nice one as well. All right, but I thought actually today I'm going to have a little go at my brick wall because I can. So I'm going to use just some distress inks today, just nice and straightforward. So I'm going to start with my dark colour first. So I've got some Lucky Clover, and I'm going to take some of the ink. Let's get a piece of scrap paper underneath my work first of all. There we go. Alright, so let's get rid of a little bit. We don't want too much on there, just be sure, unless of course you know that your ink pad is quite seasoned and it's a bit dried out. Right, and then I'm just going to sweep the colour around in kind of a circly movement. I'm using stencil card, which is the same size as the 7-inch stencil, and I've stuck it down just on one edge down here, okay, with some low tack tape. That way it's nice and secure, but I can still lift it up and check on my progress. So let's pick some more ink up and just sweep that around. See, nice circly sort of movements like so. A bit more ink, in we go, and just sweep that around. I'm going to have a little look and see what I've got. Okay, it's on its way, but I need more. Now before I add more dark colour, I'm going to bring in some yellow. So I've got some mustard seed here. There we go. Let's move this along a little bit. And again, another brush, so yellow brush this time. Okay, I'm just going to sweep this a little bit further in. Want this nice and light, because we are going to stamp over this and colour. It is only a background. So let's have a little look. Let's lift the stencil up and have a look. Yeah, that is enough of that yellow. And then what I can do now, I can just bring that outwards a little bit, just blend that with the green, so they just smoothly blend into each other. And I can go a little bit darker around those edges with the green if I want to. There we go, so just around the edges. Let's not go crazy. We want it to stand out but not take over the design. There we go. So I'm pressing quite hard here because my ink pads tend to be, oh hello, brushes on the floor. There we go. My inks tend to be well used, so they're not too juicy, so I can afford to press a little bit harder. Here we go, it's got a little circly movement there. Right, let's have another look at what I've got. Okay, that's great. Let's just bring in tiny bit more. Just soften it all up without any more ink on the brush. Okay, stop. So that is kind of similar to the ones I've got here. This one I've actually gone round the edges. See how kind of smoky it looks? And just really at the edges I've gone in with some black as well, and it gives it some drama as well. I'm not going to do it on this one. Okay, so happy with that. So we can lose the stencil and work on this piece. So let's do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to put the lids back on my ink pads, pop those to one side, and I'm going to use the single corset for the moment, and I'm going to stamp with VersaFine. So it's a nice, reliable, juicy, permanent black ink. Archival is okay too. So I'm just going to stamp this in the middle of the card, give that a good press. There we go. Use your stamp platform if you've got one and that's your preference. Okay, there we go. Now I want a couple of other of the corsets as well. So we've got some repositionable masks here. So I'm going to cover this over with one of the masks. There we go. And then I'm going to ink up the stamp again. There we go. And I'm going to stamp overlapping. I'm going to go up there. Okay, so give that a nice press. Okay, that's the second one. And then I want one further down here. Okay, so we'll go that way with this one. Okay, now I need to give that a little bit of a blot because VersaFine does stay, you can see it there, see it glossy, alright? So I'm going to turn that over, give that a blot on here. I mean, what I can do is come in with a sponge here and I can sponge that off and use it as a shadow, but I can or I can't, alright? It's up to you. So let's pop this one onto here because there's two masks. Now there isn't one for here, so I need to be just a little bit careful for the moment. So what I want to use now is, where are you? Here we go. So we've got the tape measure that comes in the set, and I'm not going to put this on a block. I'm going to use a kind of a mid colour here, so Twisted Citron is quite nice. So I'm just going to bring this along and ink it up like so, and then I'm going to come across and just stamp. Say again, we're still sort of doing background. We don't want this to overtake the project. Okay, here we go. On the original I actually used oxide and it did show up a lot better. If I bring that back in, see that? It's far brighter, isn't it? It's same colour, citrus, okay, but it's brighter than this one because the oxides are more opaque, they're more sort of pigmented, but this is okay, this will do the job. A little bit here, a little bit there, and again we've got a well used ink pad here too. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look, a little bit over here. Right, now at this point I do need, let's get a bit there. There we go. Okay, so now I need to cover this corset here. And we'll come down this end of the design. There we go. So again, just ink up the stamp and just press. No need for a block. And just different areas of the stamp. Okay, let's get one more at the bottom. There you go, I think that's okay. Right, let's lift that up so you can see where we're headed there. Right, now we can add a little bit more colour. So what we could do is take a sponge. Let me grab a sponge and we can just dip into our colour and we can just take a little bit of that colour and drag it off the masks like so. There we go. It's just going to brighten the design up a little bit. Just a small amount though. Okay, and then again we need to relocate that mask up here. Okay, same again, not too much of the ink, just a touch, and just take it around the borders of your corsets. There we go, I think that should do. Tiny bit up there, I think. There you go. Okay, that's where we're up to at the moment. Okay, so let's colour these in. Now we've got lots of choices. We could decoupage them with some papers or inky bits, but a really nice straightforward way, which is what I did on the finished piece, is I've taken, let me just move a couple of bits out of the way, bring this in. So just acrylic block, and I'm going with my mustard seed, and I'm going to just pick some of that colour up with a sparkle pen. I'm going to come in, I'm going to solid colour this area here, down through there. There we go. Down through the middle. Same on this one. This is nice because we're going to get the colour. I'm going to get a really nice shimmer as well. Right, so that's quite nice, but then what we could do is just bring some colour down just randomly down the kind of the seam lines, like so. See that? And I'm not even going to blend those in because I think the texture of that is quite nice. It's nice to leave those little white areas. There you go, that'll do. Right, so again on the finished piece, look. So that's the same. With a bit of a sparkle. You see the sparkle better when it dries. Okay, cool. And then what we can do, because this is just still a little bit plain, so we're going to use the feminine. This is feminine. You can use this for legs to come off the corset, but I'm going to use it as a frame. So again, I'm going to ink up with VersaFine, and I'm going to stamp it around about there. Ink it up again, and stamp it about there. Same again, just going to rotate it. Let's see, that's about right, I think. About there, one more, and like so. There we go. And then all I would do with this piece, have a little look. Let's bring in the finished piece, because I like the background a little bit better on this one. See, the oxide is much brighter here. That's really, really nice. So all I've done with this piece then is trimmed it down, and I've edged it with black Sharpie, and then I've popped it onto a 7-inch card. So that is pretty much what this one is going to end up like. And you can see the lovely sparkle. Can we see that? It's a bit dull out today, but that's where we're headed. So I hope that you enjoyed that little demo, and I hope to see you again. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Do give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on my YouTube. Maybe consider subscribing as well. Take care, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you again. Bye now.